Testing, testing, testing. All right, shalom, shalom. Let me get myself situated real quick. I'll get started. All right. All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. Okay, this is your brothers, the call your Allah, branched out here. All right, in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Once again, coming out here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. Babylon the Great, aka America. You see what I'm saying? And before I get started with camp, all right, I want to start this off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachak, Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. All right, shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands, and guiding their children. All right, and shalom to the hopeful elect, to the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, you Israelite foreigners out there, you so-called Chinese, you know what I'm saying, Japanese, all right, wherever you may be scattered to, okay, but you are Israelites according to your fathers that go back to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, Hispanics, Seminole Indians, all right. through the lineage of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakathum. Okay. And Salakia for the late intro. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to get myself situated out here, man. But Lord willing, this to be edifying to the elect. Okay. As I'm chanting out, chanting down the rulership of this wicked kingdom, you know what I'm saying? We're in some troubling times. All right, we are entering into some troubling times, man. And we're seeing all throughout the country, you know what I'm saying, in America, all right, and around the world. You're seeing turmoil. Okay, you're seeing sedition. You're seeing you're seeing division, right? Because what did Yahushua say? He said, I have come to send the sword. All right. Think not that I've come to send peace. I'm not coming to send peace, but a sword, man. Okay. And there's going to be divisions, man. Divisions on the left, on the right, divisions, divisions amongst family members, okay, amongst friends. The scriptures say that friends shall fight one against another like enemies. All right. So these are not good times that we're entering into, man. All right. These are deadly times. These are dangerous times. Right. Let me get that in Matthew. All right. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 reads, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his brother. All right, meaning division. Okay, at variance against his brother. All right, against his father, against his daughter. All right, Flocky, it says, I've come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be there of his own household. All right. So it's going to be divisions in house. It's going to be divisions amongst your party at work. You see what I'm saying? Those that you work with, those that you've been friends with, those that you've known your whole life. Okay. So we're seeing that. We're seeing these prophecies playing out, and a large portion of that variance is going to be heavily centered around political views. All right, your political standpoint, your political leanings. All right, what literally people are discussing whether or not freedom of speech should be adhered to or should be you know what I'm saying, should be protected through the Constitution. All right, everyone is at odds on this point. Okay, and all these different civil liberties that they're supposed to be adhering to, they're supposed to be upholding. Okay, now there's this gray line, all right, this gray area where people are questioning the validity of the First Amendment. You see what I'm saying? All right, and I said before, riddle me this: how do you get a group of people who are sternly opposed to big government to then approve and accept big government? Okay, and these devils have been very crafty. They've been slick in the way that they did this. All right, because now MAGA, okay, are actively accepting, you know what I'm saying, totalitarianism. You see what I'm saying? The reason why they're accepting it is because in the media, it's not portrayed to be affecting them. It's not portrayed to be aiming at them. See what I'm saying? So these people who are at the helm of power, all right, they know exactly how Edomites think. They know exactly what Edomites want. So they play on it. All right, they play on the emotions of these people because they know that an Edomite wants to see an Israelite be destroyed. Okay, so what do? They plaster Jacob on the screen 24/7 in a negative light. See what I'm saying? And if they can portray them in the negative light and continue to showcase this narrative over and over and over, all right, these people who already have it in their minds that they dislike you, all right, and they don't want you around them, they're already going to see you in a way that demonizes you. All right. So when these devils come around and they say we're gonna bring destruction to these people, all right, and we're gonna do it by suspending the Constitution or changing the meaning of these particular words in the Bill of Rights, okay, then they'll accept it. They'll accept it. That's why the scriptures say that the pride of thine heart has deceived you, man. Let's go to Obadiah. This is Obadiah 1 and 2. It reads, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right. So these people think that that this isn't going to affect them. All right. But their pride has deceived them. Their pride has them in a bind, you know what I'm saying, to where they can't see that, you know what I'm saying, this administration is tightening up the noose, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Just heard this brother, all right, give his dream that he had, all right, which pretty much was a vision, all right. And Elder Amawang Gabar had showcased this brother, okay, in his last video, right? But this brother's dream was talking about what? It was talking about martial law. It was talking about the 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 constricting of rights. You see what I'm saying? Or the doing away of rights and the constricting of freedoms. You see what I'm saying? Locking you in, blocking the exit points. You know what I'm saying? What the military calls choke points. You see what I'm saying? And people are locked in. People can't, and not in a good way. People are being boxed in, man. They're no longer able to go from city to city. They're no longer able to go from district to district. All right. And a lot of this has to do with what? With the fallout behind this financial ruin, which is fast approaching, right? This financial ruin that is fast approaching, and you know, they done passed this big beautiful bill, which they tell you in that bill, oh, we're gonna make sure that you don't have to pay taxes on on your tips. You don't have to pay taxes on your overtime, things of that nature. All right. So these people who are literally opposed to big government will accept big government. All right. Because they're told that they have a big piece of the pie. You see what I'm saying? But literally inside that same bill, you can't make any changes or any management towards artificial intelligence. Okay? So that means that a whole surveillance system based solely upon artificial intelligence cannot be regulated. All right. So they accepted big government, all right, thinking that it was going to be in their benefit. All right. But when you give the government that much power, when you give these people that much power, they will not relinquish it. Right. They won't relinquish that. So again, verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. All right. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, man. It's talking about you Edomites. Your pride has deceived you. You don't even realize that the walls are closing in on you, man. All right. And this is a beautiful thing to see because we're watching the downfall of our enemies, and they are the very ones that's bringing it upon themselves. Right. This is Psalms chapter 82 and verse 4. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked, man. All right, we're waiting for the Lord to render us out of the hands of these devils. You see what I'm saying? Because they've had control over the narrative for so long. They've been able to spew their pseudoscience, all these different things that they've had control over, man. All right. The scriptures say in Second Esdras that the truth which has been so long without fruit shall be declared, man. Let me get this in Isaiah chapter 42. This is Isaiah 42 and 9. It reads, Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. All right? New things have been declared, man. Okay? The downfall of this kingdom, you know what I'm saying? All this truth, this great news, you see what I'm saying? This gospel is being brought forth by the prophets, man. Okay? Singing that new song as it's written of in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter. You see what I'm saying? That the 144,000 will have that song, that new song, and they will be singing that new song. All right? The scripture says, sing unto the Lord a new song, man. Right? There we go. Verse 10, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof, man. Let's go to the 13th chapter. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles, man. All right. Lift up a banner upon the high mountains. Who's the high mountain? All right. You have to understand that the word for mountains, all right, that the mountains, hills and valleys is talking about higher governments and lesser governments, man. Okay. That's what that's referring to. So when you think about that high mountain, who's the high mountain? It's Esau Edom. All right, it's Esau Edom. Shalom, beloved. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah. All right. Um, but yeah, when you talk about the high mountains, you know what I'm saying? The high mountains deals with the highest, with the higher form of governments, man. All right, and at the helm of all these governments is America, Babylon the Great. All right, the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, as it's written of in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. Right. Let's see if I can get this real quick. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 17. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 17 and verse 23, it says, In the mountain of the height of Israel will I plant it. All right, a new government is going to be formed. A new government. See what I'm saying? In the mountain of the height of Israel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs and bear fruit, and be a goodly cedar. And under it shall dwell all fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell. All right. So America's going to be completely destroyed. It's going to be gone. Israel. All right. The throne of David is going to be the ruling government over the entire planet, and all these other nations are going to be subject to it. Right. Verse 24. And all the trees of the field, meaning all the nations, shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh, have brought down the high tree. All right, the high tree meaning Esau. All right. Have exalted the low tree. The low tree is Jacob, right? Have dried up the green tree, okay? And that green tree is talking about Esau and his and his with his ruling government, he has all these great luxuries that he enjoys. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Elder Itazawan. All right, Elder Itazawan was going into the fact that they was having this banquet. All right, Trump was at this banquet in London, in the palace. All right, I believe it was Buckingham Palace, and they was all proposing a toast for the president, for President Trump. You see what I'm saying? All right, so this is their green tree. This is their green tree, their dainties, all these wonderful things that they have. All right, this ill-gotten gain that they've robbed, they've stolen. All right, all right, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry tree to flourish. All right, the dry tree. You Jakes out there, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, you don't have no businesses. You don't have any commerce. You have anything that build. You can build upon in this kingdom or anything like that. You don't have your own standing government. None of that. None of that stuff. All right. But the Lord is going to cause the dry tree to flourish, man. I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it. Okay, so this is what the prophets are here to prophesy. This is what the men of the Lord are here to bring. You know what I'm saying? This is the good news. All right. So, like I said, man, a bunch of things that's happening in the world. The prophets are here to speak on it. This is Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. That's what the prophets were sent here to do, was to give the warning from the Lord, as is written of in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, 17th verse, right? That we were sent here to give the warning and to let the people know what was coming. All right. War and evil and pestilence. All these things are taking place right now, man. We are on the cusp of World War III. Okay. Russia is violating NATO airspaces, okay, and testing their readiness. You see what I'm saying? China is doing drills off the coast of Taiwan. Hey, man, war, evil, and pestilence. All right, only evils are approaching. They're fast approaching, man. You know what I'm saying? If you have you seen that golden statue? All right, you saw that golden statue with Trump, and Trump is holding the Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? He's holding the Bitcoin. We told you that this cryptocurrency stuff was the means to get everybody on board with cryptocurrencies, with going digital. You see what I'm saying? With making digital transactions off digital currencies. No longer fiat currencies, no longer physical currency. You see what I'm saying? This was the means to usher the people into it. All right. And these people really believe, all right, everybody really believed that it was this individual in his basement somewhere. All right. This individual in his basement somewhere, you see what I'm saying, talking about different algorithms and how to create his own currency. All right. That was the foolishness. And that's what they brought you into understanding, all right, thinking that this was going to better your lives. See what I'm saying? All right, this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Yasharallah shall, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth, man. All right. So the fact that the fact that not everybody's falling on board with this, you see what I'm saying? Not everybody's come on board with this dichotomy. See what I'm saying? And thinking that that's going to better their lives, man. How you doing, bro? How you doing? You got me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Right, right. Yes, sir. Hey, right. I preach the Bible. Hey, I'm out here to give the warning of the things to come. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, not me. Not me. Sorry. Yeah, not a me though. Not a me though. Not a me. You can take a picture of this. You can take a picture of the sign. You will. All right. All right. But I'm out here doing prophets on preaching of the things that's coming. Right. So very soon you're gonna see World War III reach its conclusions. Right. We're already in World War III, the beginning stage of it. Now, before that happens, this is what's going to take place. Okay, the economy is going to fall apart. The economy is going to crash. The dollar is going to be zero. It's going to be nothing. All right. So the solution that they're going to bring to you is is a digital currency, a system that relies upon a particular chip. All right. Now, after that happens, World War III reaches its conclusion, where all the countries are beginning to fire their missiles because they're in the middle of World War II in the Levant region, right? In the so-called Middle East. Okay, that's where America's going to be. That's where Israel's going to be. That's where Russia's going to be. Right? All these particular countries are going to be gathered there. Okay? When that happens, this man, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? His name is Yahweh. He's going to return with the mass armada of angels, okay, and a massive ship. All right. The scriptures call them clouds, or they call them the chariots of Israel. Okay? That's what you're going to see. And that's what's going to take place very soon. They're going to gather the elect of the nation of Israel. So, Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, all those that you see on this chart, all right, you'll begin first in America, right, and gather the elect all around the world. And again, so that the elect can be saved from this destruction. Okay? So that's what I'm out here to try. Try to a couple times. I know you. Thank you so much. Where was I? So it says, verse 20. Isaiah 10 and 20 says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but stay upon, all right, but stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, Yasher Allah in truth, man. Okay, so what you're going to see, is massive rebellion, all right, rebelling against this new system, against this new world that's coming, man. All right, no one's going to want to no one's going to want to take heed to the words of the prophets. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to continue on in this frame of thinking, because a lot of people are not going to what's the word? A lot of people, Salaki, I'm trying to get the words together. Uh, but a lot of the people are not going to confide in the government. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the division. You're gonna have those that are opposed to Trump. You're gonna have those that are not opposed to Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like the elder Yashawamba and the brothers in Dallas, they came across this MAGA. You know what I'm saying? And he said what? He said if Trump had him put a chip in his hand, all right, he would do it. So you have those kind of people. You have those people who don't care about what the Constitution is. They don't care about what the Bible is, what the Bible says. Even though they say they're Christians, they believe in the Bible, they don't believe that. You see what I'm saying? They don't believe it because they're going to follow what what their boy Trump says, because he's going to bring in this new system. He's going to bring in this new currency. And if it's not him, it's definitely one of his contemporaries. You know what I'm saying? Those of his administration, those that's close to him. You see what I'm saying? Because we ain't got much time. We ain't got much time, man. We almost out of here. All right, we almost out of here. There's nothing. There's nothing more to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? In terms of this life, right? Let me see real quick. All right, because I want to get these. I want to get these articles that I got lined up that I want to touch on. But let me see. I wanted to go to what was it? Salaki. Salaki, man. Jake done interrupted me. I lost my train of thought. But let me go back. Uh, Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8, it says, the prophets that have been before me, there we go, and before thee of old, prophesy both against many countries and of great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. It says, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. See what I'm saying? You got prophets out here that's prophesying of peace. See what I'm saying? You're going to see who the true prophets are, man. You're going to see who the true prophets are in the near future. All right? Those that between those that serving the Lord and those that's not. Because the Lord told us to send us to send a warning. All right. If I'm coming here to tell you that peace is coming, I'm not warning you of anything. I'm telling you that peace is coming. You see what I'm saying? That good times is coming, man. No, the prophet's not here to tell you that. The prophet said to tell you that there's death and destruction, all right, calamities that's coming, man. And we have to warn you of these things. All right? But you got these jokers in ISUPK, for example, right? ISUPK is now coming out saying, right, they're now coming out saying that we can't rule out a microchip that's being in the mix. You can't rule out a microchip. What do you mean you can't rule out? What is it? You see what I'm saying? What is it? Do you have the sure word of prophecy or not? Do you have the Holy Spirit or don't you? You see what I'm saying? If you don't have the Holy Spirit, then you're going to leave that gray area. You're going to leave that gray area, man. You see what I'm saying? Just like your boy from Bow Wow, all right, BOW. You know what I'm saying? You know, he says it's not the mark of the beast, but I'm not going to take it. Well, why not? Why not? You see what I'm saying? Because you won't be able to buy shit without it. You won't be able to sell nothing without it. Okay? So why not? That's the point, man. Why not, bro? You see, all these false prophets are being exposed out here, and you're able to see if they was really about this truth or if they weren't. If they was truly about telling you, giving you the warning, or if they was about the gimmicks, if they was about telling you what you wanted to hear, right? What is that? Jeremiah 23rd chapter. All right, Jeremiah 23 and verse 16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord," man. All right, they speak a vain word. They don't speak the words of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? They don't tell you the words of his majesty. They tell you the things that you want to hear. All right? Things that's according to their own hearts, man. Right? Says they make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord. They say still unto them that despise me, the Lord hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. That sounds like peace, right? That's what they push. They push peace. They push that it's going to be prosperous times all the time. All right? That's what they preach. That's what they tell you. Prosperity doctrines, all that type of stuff. All right? But very soon, the Lord is going to be speaking through prophecy. All right? Right now, he's speaking through his prophets. Very soon, he's going to be speaking through judgment. Okay? All right, so with that, let me go and get a couple of these articles, man. I wanted to grab. All right. So this one article comes from, let me see if you can see it here. All right. This one article comes from The Week. It says Islamic NATO. Muslim countries are calling for a unified military front to take on enemies. All right. So these are these Ishmaelites, you see what I'm saying? These are these Elamites, the Persians, okay? They're joining forces, they're joining together, man. All right. And they're about to come against NATO, man. All right. Let me get something else real quick. All right. Why? Because what was it, a couple weeks ago? Yeah, back in August, all right, back in August, Turkey had completely severed economic ties and closed its airspace to these Amalekites, man. All right, the small hats. You see what I'm saying? So that's NATO's second largest military. All right. So what happens when NATO loses Turkey? Because it's going to happen according to prophecy, man. The prophecy states that Goma, all right, is going to turn against is going to join Russia. Excuse me. All right, the land of Magog. That's in Ezekiel. Salaki, the wind is picking up. So let's get this in Ezekiel chapter 38. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 4 says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen. All right, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." All right, it says what? It says Persia. Who's the Persians, man? Iran. Iran is the Persians. You see what I'm saying? Along with other countries. Then you have Ethiopia and Libya with them. Okay? All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer. and all his bands, the house of Togomar. This is the Turkish. All right, these are the people of Turkey. Okay, Erdogan and them. So they're going to join forces with Russia, man. Right? The house of Togomar, the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, so the Lord is going to allow these Russians to be a guard to all these different nations, man. All right, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, okay, the Turkish, the Iranians, all these different nations, right? So yeah, in that article, Turkey has just completely severed economic ties and closed airspace to Israel. That came out of the endtimeheadlines.org. All right. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to the week. Okay. All right, the week. It says Islamic NATO. Muslim countries are calling for a unified military front to take on enemies. Islamic military coalition calls are intensifying from nations like Iraq and Iran. All right, advocating for a unified Muslim defense pact. All right, or Islamic NATO, a unified Muslim defense pact, or Islamic NATO to confront adversaries, including Israel. Iran and Iraq are among the Islamic nations calling for the formation of a unified Muslim military coalition that can take on enemies, including Israel. The Islamic NATO, as is being quoted, should share a defensive, if necessary, offensive doctrine. They opinion, all right, or they open the the opening call to form an Islamic coalition came as the Organization of Islamic Cooperation gathered for an emergency summit in Qatar on Monday in the wake of Israel's attack on Qatar. All right, so this is why the scriptures say that the least of the flock is going to draw them out. So these Amalekites, all right, these Amalekites, the small hats, are drawing out everybody. They're drawing out the different nations. Okay, they're drawing out uh, 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 they're drawing out the citizens of these nations. All right. For example, when all these people are realizing that these legislations that's being passed are meant to benefit Israel, you see what I'm saying? When they're meant to benefit these Amalekites, when all these legislations that's tying up their tongues in freedom of speech is going in benefit of these Amalekites, what's happening here? What's happening is, all right, the people are starting to realize that their government does not work for the benefit of the people anymore. All right. So the least of the flock is drawing out everybody. It's drawing out contentions around the world in every aspect. Okay. You got the ICC that's against them. You got the ICJ that's against them. Okay. The International Criminal Court, the International Court of Justice. You have the UN that's calling them out. You got multiple countries that's moving forward in defiance of these Amalekites to approve of a Palestinian state. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you got you got citizens all around the world that's revolting against their governments, all right, who continue to support these guys, all right, because egregious legislation was just passed to make sure that nobody that nobody disagrees with these people, that nobody opposes these people, right? Slovakia, turn these off. But they're making sure that nobody has a voice against these people, man. Okay, so the least of the flock is drawing them out, everyone. Okay, and when we're dealing with these Arab nations, so called, all right, let's get the prophecy on that. Let's get the prophecy because these jokers have attacked Lebanon, they've attacked Syria, they've attacked Libya, they have attacked Somalia, um, um, they've attacked Iran, they've attacked Iraq. Everyone sees who the oppressor is, right? This is Second Ezra, all right, Second Ezra chapter 15. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse, let's see, verse 27. Let's start here. All right, Second Ezra 15 and 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For the Most High shall not deliver you because ye have sinned against him. Okay? And first and foremost, we give that message out to the 2/3, man. You see what I'm saying? Get it right, or you're gonna get left, man. Repent, or you will perish. Simple as that. Verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. From the east. All right? From the east, man. It says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. All these nations, all these Arab nations, okay, are joining forces, man. This is prophecy that's playing out. With many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars in the wood. All right, the Carmanians is talking about the Iranians, man. It's talking about the Iranians. Okay, the people of Iran, the Persians, man. Okay, raging in wrath shall go forth as a wild boar in the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together, all right, conspiring together. So all these nations are conspiring together to come and fight, to come and defend themselves, to come and oppose the oppressor, these Edomites, all right, headed by the head tribe of Edom, which is Amalek. All right, these so-called JOOs, man. See? Then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Okay? So this is what we're seeing, man. This is what we're seeing. We're in the time, of the Lord mustering the host of the battle, man. Let's go there. Go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains. Remember, the mountains is talking about governments, right? The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. All right? The Lord mustereth the host of the battle, man. See? So they're all coming. They're all coming together in unison against the great whore of Babylon, man. All right. So it says, back to the article, it reads, Iran was at the forefront of the campaign for this Islamic NATO, while Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shai al-Sudani was very vocal about the need to establish the Islamic military alliance. Sudani pinned the need for the Islamic NATO on Israel's actions. There is no reason Muslim nations cannot form a joint security force to defend themselves. He told Al Jazeera channel. All right, and that's another thing, man. These Amalekites is they're destroying all these journalists, man. You see what I'm saying? That's got to be a direct violation of Geneva. You see? But these jokers don't abide by their own rules, right? He added that the Islamic world holds numerous levers that could be used to deter Israel, warning that the Israeli aggression will not stop at Qatar. All right, because they know damn well how you Amalekites work and how you Edomites as a whole work. They know how you work. They know how you think. All right, they know how you think because of history. History shows us how you work, how you move, how you think, how you act. All right, your own history shows you this. And let's see. It says, and their aggression will not stop at Qatar. It says that they have all the Islamic world holds numerous levers that could be used to deter them. You know what I'm saying? When you think about these different things that they have at their disposal, for example, the Strait of Hormuz. If these jokers was to close the Strait of Hormuz, the devastation would be immediate. You see what I'm saying? You would see how much of an impact it would play around the whole planet. You would see it overnight. You see what I'm saying? When all that, when that trade route is completely cut, okay, that's going to spell absolute devastation towards the world economy. Okay, so yeah, man, these jokers have a lot to work with, man. They have leverage, and then on top of that, these Ishmaelites, these Elamites, okay, these Carmenians, they know who the true Israelites are, man. They know who the Israelites are. All right. So they could also use that as leverage as well. The truth. Because what keeps these Edomites in power is their ability to be in secret, to move in secret, right? When you look at the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, Isaiah 29 to the 15th verse, all right, this is talking about their council, their secret councils, man. All right. And they're constantly thinking about how they can undermine the Israelites, how they can stop, you know what I'm saying, stop the momentum of the Israelites being awakened, man. All right. Uh, Mo, Mazin, Mazin Razai, Ma'in Slaki, Mazin Razai, Razai, a former chief commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, was among the Shia leaders who called the military coalition the only solution. All right, the only solution, man. Because here you got President Trump. All right, Trump is out here talking about, all right, These so-called Negroes, Latinos, all right, Native Americans, Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? All they know is violence. That's all they know. That's all they're accustomed to. That's all they're able to respond to. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the truth of the matter is that this violence is the only thing that the Edomites know. You see what I'm saying? It's about to be 250 years since America was established as a nation. All right. But for 90% of that time, all right, possibly more, this place has been in nothing but turmoil. This place has been in wars and conflicts throughout the majority of its inception, okay? Through its existence, through its whole existence. Nothing but war, nothing but violence, nothing but aggression, nothing but oppression. That's all they've known. That's all they ever knew. You see what I'm saying? All right, so let me get another article. All right. All right. As this article reads here, it says, okay, if you can read that, it says Iran successfully tested intercontinental missiles. All right. Iran successfully tested an intercontinental missile, lawmaker says. And this is breaking news, man. Okay. And it's causing shockwaves around the world. Why? Because this is the first time that Iran has ever launched an ICBM. Okay. It's the first time they've ever launched that. You see what I'm saying? So these jokers is ready. These jokers are ready. The Carmanians are ready. The dragons of Arabia are ready. They're prepared. They're prepared to get this thing popping, man. All right. It says a new surface to surface fourth generation uh Haramal Shahar ballistic missile with a range of 2,000 kilometers is launched at an undisclosed location in Iran. In this picture obtained on May the 25th. Oh, 2023. That's all right, that's no picture, Slovakia. That's no picture. Okay. But damn. And these things really do look like arrows, man. These missiles really look like arrows. So that you can clearly see why the prophets of old would call them arrows. You can see why they called them arrows. You know what I'm saying? All right, so it says Tehran conducted a successful test of an intercontinental ballistic missile late Thursday. An Iranian parliamentarian said after videos shared online appeared to show trails of smoke from the launches arching upwards into the sky. 2 nights ago, we tested one of the country's most advanced missiles, which had not been tested so far, and it was successful. All right. Their spokesperson told the state broadcaster. So you can clearly see that these devils are they're in straits, man. Like the scriptures say, the scriptures say that in the fullness of your sufficiency, thou shalt be in straits, man. And they are in straits. They're worried. Okay, they're worried, man, and they're grieved and wearied by the multitude by their multitudes of their their conversations. You know what I'm saying? All these different meetings that they have. Okay. Yep. Isaiah 47 and verse 13, it says, Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. All right. So these devils know their time is coming. They know that's up. All right. All right. So that leads me to uh my last article that I want to leave y'all with. Okay. All right. This last article is coming from Prophecy News Watch, and it reads, Programmable digital currency will become the ultimate surveillance nightmare. All right. Because when you look at when you look at this website, Prophecy News Watch, they're 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 heavily they're heavily in favor of whatever Israel does. You see what I'm saying? They're very pro. All right, they're very pro Israel, man. You see what I'm saying? The thing about it is that they they can't they can't tell you who's in control and who's bringing about this new system that they call themselves warning against. You know what I'm saying? All right. But just like I mentioned earlier, this big statue, this golden statue of Trump holding the Bitcoin, okay, that was the snare. That was the snare. And the people are being marched into this thing. Okay? Programmable digital currency will become the ultimate surveillance nightmare. And it reads, globalist leaders are working at full speed to introduce central bank digital currencies, the CBDC. And a CBDC is a digital currency that is issued directly by a central bank, such as the Federal Reserve in the US, the European Central Bank in the EU Eurozone, and the Bank of England in the UK. All right. It says a CBDC will be the final straw that ensures that every dream of suppression and control that the globalists nurture will come true. All right. And they're so and this those who control this website, those who run this website, they're so foolish that they don't even realize. All right. The ones that's pulling the strings here are these Amalekites, these so-called JOOs, man. Okay. It says several of those dreams are already a reality, including shutting down dissent and free speech, as in Europe, where people are routinely fined and arrested for saying things the government does not like. All right. A host of other controlling measures are already in the works, including herding people into 15-minute cities where it is easier to monitor them, keep tabs on their use of private cars, decide what they can do, what they cannot say, what they can and cannot eat. Ideally, ecologically preferable bugs and lab grown meat. No beef, no cheese. Track their carbon footprints, determine where and how they can travel overseas, their vaccines and so forth. All right. So, this is the path that we're going into. All right. This is why ISUPK is now flirting with the idea of this subdermal device. All right. being the MOTB. They're saying they're not going to rule it out. This is how you know they are not prophets. They're not prophets, man. All right? All right, just like I showed Jake, who just came up. All right. This is what we're coming into. Okay? This is what we're coming into, man. It's a dermal device that's going to go under the skin, man. A device that will monitor you. A device that will bar how much you can buy, how much you can sell, what you can do in terms of your movements. All of that is going to be predicated on whether or not you got this device. See what I'm saying? And those outside of the system will be kept away from having the conveniences. All right, that's going to be taken away from them. You see what I'm saying? So let me get this here in Revelation chapter 13. All right, because just like Elder Apostle Tahar said, man, when they bring about this mandated decree, okay, you're going to see all these camps start to crumble. Okay, and they start to lose it. All right. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You see what I'm saying? This is the time that's approaching, man. All right. Global wars, civil war, okay? Financial ruin, pestilence is coming. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that you have to watch out for. These are the things that the prophets are here to warn the sheep about. Okay? Like the Lord said, if you love me, feed my sheep, feed my lamb, feed my flocks. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to cut that there, man. All right. I pray this lesson has been edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. This has been your brother Zachariah Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. All right. So in closing, I want to give our praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. All right. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to Water. All right. For tuning in. Shalom.